Well, hello there. Sorry, I have a new microphone and I can see why the kids hold the microphone, because when I go to clip it on, it's actually a lot heavier than my old one, so excuse me. Sorry it's been so long between videos. I have recorded this video twice before, and when I went to edit it, I hated it. So I just deleted it and thought I will record it again another day, and that other day just kept on going on. So here I am recording this video. If we haven't met before, my name is Michelle and I am a tapestry artist and hand weaver, and I post videos about my creative processes, but also a little bit of creative motivation, things like that, whatever I feel like talking about. So I would love for you to subscribe if you'd like to join me. So I'm working on a series of works at the moment, and I've loosely titled it the Parkside Insane Asylum. Now, for a bit of context, in my new job I work at the South Australian Film Corporation, and that is in a building that used to be part of the, most recently known as the Glenside Hospital Precinct. So I will show you some video footage while I'm talking, but basically this used to be the Parkside Insane Asylum and opened in the 1800s, and it's since changed its name. I think it was actually the Parkside Lunatic Asylum. That was another terrible name that it was, and towards the end of its life it was called the Glenside Hospital Precinct. So the building that I work in was the former administration building, and it is a beautiful, beautiful building. And the downstairs area where I work was used as administration, but upstairs there are still cells. Let's just call them what they are. They're cells. And we haven't really renovated the first or second floor. I think half of the first floor is renovated. We have tenants up there, and we built onto the back of the building with all the film studios. Back in the day, that was the main sort of flashy building with the clock tower. It's beautiful. And then the whole precinct had other buildings around it. Now, I think the hospital closed down in the early 70s, and the Film Corporation didn't move in until I think 2011. So it was empty for, not that whole time, but it was emptied for a few years in between. So the government still owns all of the those buildings. They're all heritage listed. So on the other side of SA Film Corp, there's the Adelaide Central School of Art. So they lease out that building, and there's other, various businesses in there as well. Towards the back of the site is Z Ward. Now, Z Ward was where the criminally insane patients were, and it's quite well known in Adelaide because there are ghost tours of Z Ward, and I have been on one of those said ghost tours. It's incredible, and it's pretty much in its original state. So Z Ward was scheduled to be demolished, I think, in 1974, and at the very, very, very last minute, and when I say last minute, I mean the dynamite was actually under the building, but at the last minute State Heritage came in and said, "What are you doing? Stop that!" And the building was saved. So it's had, it's had various sort of government departments using it over the years, but now it's basically just left as is, and ghost tours are conducted there all through the week. So Z Ward is the kind of creepiest building on the precinct. Quite a lot of the other buildings have been demolished, the ones that weren't in that great shape or weren't heritage listed. So the area is really, really interesting. Unfortunately, developers have bought quite a lot of the land around it, obviously to raise money for the government. So there is kind of, Legoland kind of housing around the area. And there are a couple of heritage buildings that the developers own now, and I think one of them are going to be turned into luxury apartments at some stage. I mean, it's great to work in a building like that. Not sure you'd want your home in a building like that, but anyway. So I've become completely fascinated by the whole precinct, also because it is quite haunted. Now, I don't see ghosts. I think that I'm kind of too desperate because I really, really want to see ghosts. I feel energy and I feel there's a lot of interesting energy around the building, but I've never actually seen anything. So I'm hoping one day I will. I totally believe in ghosts because I believe in energy. I believe in, you can feel energy, and I don't know, why you can see certain things, but I definitely am open-minded about it. So there have been quite a few staff members who have seen ghosts in our building. And a lot of them have been seen by more than one person. My partner Anita, who also works at the Film Corp, she sees ghosts all the time. She sees sort of shadow figures. She also sees full, people. Apparently there's a guy that sits at reception that that the receptionist and the admin person and Anita have all seen. He sits in the corner at the reception counter. So there are lots and lots of stories. Some of the tenants see a little girl running through the screening theatre. So people in the car park. A lot of those kinds of stories that I'd like to collate and also have as part of this series. That was a very, very long-winded introduction. I wanted to give you a little bit of background just so that you can see how my interest was piqued and what, drew me to want to make art about this particular area. So the first thing I did was I took a lot of photos, and at first I just took very generic photos of just the basic buildings, and then I started taking more, I don't know, sort of artistic or stylized photos just of certain parts of the architecture that really spoke to me. And I didn't really have a plan, to be honest. I was just taking photos. I just saved them all in a folder on my phone. I took quite a lot of video, and as I was going on, I was just getting more and more ideas for artworks coming through as I kept on working on it. So I guess the first thing I want to let you know is, if you have an idea to make something, don't think that it should be a fully formed idea straight away. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Just take photos, do some drawings, make some notes. I have a journal that I keep all my art ideas in, and there's a lot of rubbish ideas in that journal, but I also believe that a lot of my good ideas come out of there as well. So start doing that. So start collating information basically. You don't have to have any fully formed ideas just yet. So once I started collating information, I also started collating stories because I thought that, like some of the ones I just told you earlier, they might be helpful when I'm designing. So again, just collated them in my journal. And then someone approached me to do an exhibition in February and make some postcard-sized works. So basically the exhibition is, I don't know how many artists there are. I think she's still finding some more to be involved, but basically it's called Artists at Work, and we all go to the gallery, and there's like a number of us working in the gallery every weekend that the exhibition is open. And so I decided to, when she asked me, I thought I can do these works for that exhibition. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to make postcard-sized almost studies of some of the buildings. So that was my first thought. And I ended up buying a different loom. Let me show you. This is really freaking awkward to film, but this is my Schacht loom. I also got ones with the A-frame, just so that it's easier to weave on. So I got a new Schacht loom because I thought it would be more portable, and also I wanted another smaller loom just to take with me to the gallery or to take home again, a little bit more portable than the one I've got back here. So I decided to buy that one, and it took a couple of months to come from the US. I wonder if there was just a backlog of orders. But finally I got it, and I've just started weaving my very first tapestry on that. And this tapestry is of a part of the Z Ward building. So when I started designing it, I wasn't quite sure that it was going to work out, because I don't really work on such a small scale of tapestry normally. I like to work a little bit larger, not huge, but large enough so that you can get quite a lot of detail in. When you're working small scale, you can't get as much detail. So I wasn't sure that I could make it work, but I posted what I've done so far on social media. This is the great thing about social media. You can get quite a lot of input from other artists. And I talked to some of the artists who were at the gallery at the time, and they all seem to think that it's working out. Hopefully that's honest opinion. So I'm going to push through, try and finish this tapestry, and then sort of see how I go from there. So once I finish this tapestry, I might do a follow-up video and tell you what I think about how it's going. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. So I guess what I'm saying, oh my God, this is such a rambly video, and this is why I tried recording it twice before, but I'm just going to go with it. If it's rambly, I'm apologizing in advance. I'm sorry. But stream of consciousness, you guys have told me you prefer when I don't have a script, so unfortunately. Michelle without a script is also a bit rambly. But yeah, my thought at the moment is to do these postcard size tapestries, and then after that work on a slightly larger piece, because I think as part of the exhibition she also wants us to work on, I think 5 postcard size before the exhibition starts. I don't know if I can finish 5 by February, but we'll see. And then work on one that's larger. Again, mine probably won't be much larger because I still won't have time to finish it. Tapestry is very slow, people. So what I'm going to be doing is working on those small ones of little sort of samplers, I guess, in a way. And then the larger one will be another area of the building. And then I'm going to think about making some of my sort of usual size ones. So say, 35 centimeters by 45 centimeters, which is my comfort zone size of tapestry. So that's my feeling at the moment. I'm sorry it's not a to B way that I design tapestries series, but I guess what I'm trying to convey here is designing artworks or series of artworks is not a linear process. It normally starts from a seed, for me anyway. I mean, other people may work differently than me, but for me it starts from a seed of interest. And then I start to research things, and I start to get really kind of hyper focused on things, and then it's sort of, it's percolating in the back of my mind, how can I use this? And as artists, that's what we do. We tend to find art and design in everything. So if your interest is piqued, don't automatically think, oh, I need to make an artwork about it, but be open-minded, take photos, take notes, have your visual diary or visual journal that you can make notes about how this could be a possible idea. Nothing's set in stone. You can have a whole visual diary full of crap ideas, and that's completely fine. But in some of those crap ideas, there could be one absolutely incredible idea that sets you off on a whole new tangent and makes you make work that people remember you for. My whole process of weaving the x-rays started like that. It was just me looking at some x-rays in Anita's parents' house and going, these are just so beautiful, and then taking photos of them, and then it ends up being, I'm going to do a drawing of one of them. So you never know where things end up. No one really sits down and says, well, I'm going to plan to make some artworks about this. It's always an organic process. And if you feel that you get stuck in that process and you can't think of what you can possibly make, don't put pressure on yourself. Just do what you love doing, go for walks, look at nature, look around you. Like, what type of things are you normally drawn to? Personally, I'm normally drawn to things that are kind of creepy but still have beauty in them. So you need to sort of make a distinction of what you're drawn to. So some of the things that are kind of everyday, they are the things that will be really great for your art. And there's no point in saying I should paint blah. if that's not really what's, you know, in your heart, and that's not really what makes you excited, you really need to do the things that you're completely naturally drawn to, because that will also affect your artwork. And if you're really passionate about something, that'll come through in your art. It'll be way more authentic. It'll also be way more authentic when you're talking about it on social media, because if you're doing that thing that I know that a lot of artists do, oh, this subject is topical right now, maybe I should make an artwork about it, but your heart's not really 100% in it, it's going to show. Your work's going to be rubbish. So, or it's going to be quite flat and you know, shallow. So keep that in mind. If you're feeling stuck, go for a walk. Go for a walk around your local area, or go for a walk around somewhere that, you know, that interests you, that fascinates you. If you love history, go and research the area that you live in. If, you know, the area you live in you consider to be boring, you know, drive 30 minutes down the road and see what's there. You'll find inspiration everywhere, basically. That's what artists do. We see the beauty in things that other people don't notice. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this very, very rambly video. I hope that you got something out of it. Or at least I can say, hello, I'm still here. I apologize for ghosting you for a little while, but I'm getting in the swing of things now. I am getting in the swing of being in the office full time. Hopefully I will get to work from home at least one day a week soon, and that'll make things a little bit easier. But at the moment, I'm absolutely loving my job. The people are amazing. The business is amazing. And I'm also, you know, making my art. I've also done quite a lot in the background that I need to talk to you about as well. I did Bowerbird in November. I've got one of my artworks in a group exhibition at the Art Gallery of South Australia. Like, what? And I need to talk to you about that. Will be a whole new video, because that's a crazy story, and I will actually take you there as well, because it's an amazing exhibition. So more to come. I will get my schedule more organized, and I will see you in the very next video. Bye. This is my paintbrush. Oh yeah, I can totally do this. This is my paintbrush. The Gen X in me thinks this is so dumb. But yeah. If I clip it on, it's going to like drag my t-shirt down. It's kind of ridiculous.